Welcome to Dice Masters in the Great North. I'm Reg, and today's video is actually in response to a couple of the other craft videos I did. One was on the camera mount video and also on the campaign box foam board insert. So I had some responses to it, some questions, and just in response to the campaign box one, just to show people what I did do, if you haven't seen it, is I actually took a campaign box and created with just foam board. Cost me about $1.50 to make it. Is I actually made two foam board inserts. Now the dimensions can vary, but said inside of each it fits two of these foam board layouts or inserts, and they each hold about 350 dice. So people have been asking how do we do it and all that, and I've said to people I'll send more details hopefully in a document I'm going to try to do. But they're pretty straightforward to make. They're with foam board, you need a knife, and you just basically a little bit of patience, but they're stuck together with glue and toothpicks. So people asked and said, oh, that holds 800 or 700 dice, it's going to be too heavy. These are not very heavy and they sit on a shelf, so they're okay. I have shown that I've made a smaller version of it, and that one holds, of course, less dice. I've made inserts for cards, can hold basic actions. And again, it's a two-level one that can hold extra dice. So when I go to an event, I can still hold about, I think it's about 150 dice. So it's pretty big. And again, you can vary it to make it as small as you want, big as you want, whatever. The camera mount, I am going to be sending a lot better details on the parts. I'm going to try to get SKUs for everyone, try to make it a lot easier for you to design that, because I have had positive feedback on that, but they're having some troubles. I would basically say take the list with you to a Lowe's or Home Depot, take your mat and actually design it right there at the store. They'll be more than welcome to help you, I'm sure, because they'll do a project with you at the store. And again, that's about $10 to do a camera mount. So the other part I wanted to show was I played a couple online games in the last month, and people have asked me about my dice tower. I know people pay $15, $20 for a dice tower, and I originally had a very simple foam board. This is more like with the dowels inside of it. So when you roll dice, of course, they just go down through the dowels, completely randomized. My original first one was a very simple. It had like the three slots that fell down, and I didn't like this one. It was too bulky. And then I had this idea. And what I found with this one is when you take your dice on your playmat, they shoot all over the place. And I didn't like that when I played online because, I mean, it's nice, it randomized them, but the dice, as I said, they go halfway across my mat. So I took that idea and I just kind of shrunk it. So a lot of people have asked me about this one in the last week, actually. And all this one is same thing. I just made the dimensions smaller. It was originally supposed to fit inside of a deck box, but of course I measured once, or didn't measure twice. And when I put it together, it was the wrong side. I actually did the sides instead of inside, they're on the outside. So, but you'll see when I roll this one with the 6 dice, they don't go across the playmat. They kind of just sit right outside. So that's why I like this one. I tried it with plastic and the dice just shoot across the mat. So that's why I like this foam board one. Kind of knocks down the speed of how far they fall. And so I did that first one. And then I actually did a second version, which of course a little bit smaller, but this one fits right inside a deck box. So when you go to travel, there it is. There's your dice tower sitting inside a deck box. For that one, again, the dimensions, I'm going to try to do a document up for it, but it's 2 pieces of foam board, 2 side pieces, which of course makes the rectangle using toothpicks and glue. And then you have a base, and then you have a, I guess it's for the bottom level, so the dice will fall out. The one suggestion I do tell people is when you cut it, of course with your knife, do small scores to start, because if you don't, what happens is the top of the foam will have cuts in it, and if you're not having a sharp knife, it'll have that kind of a weird weathered kind of look. But if you cut it clean, it should look really nice and just a little bit more proper if you want to be more detailed. So I'm going to have a document on that, how to do it, but it's kind of neat that you can pull out a deck box at your event and there's your dice tower. And again, you build it with foam board. The dowels, instead of using wooden dowels, I use toothpicks, and they seem to work fine. If they ever break, stick another toothpick in it. Again, it's not for super show. This is more just for actually for function more. So to make one, I think one foam board box, I made 12 mini deck box or mini dice towers. So I think that's kind of cool for everyone to have. Some other stuff that I've done that people have noticed and they've asked questions on where did I get that or how did I do it. And I've kind of been sending them out to people when they ask is I do tokens and they fit on just normal poker chips. So again, this is just printed piece of paper, sticker paper that you get at any Staples or whatever store. And what on top of it is I put, it's called vinyl protector. You can get it again at bookstores, dollar store. I got this one at the dollar store for $1. And it's supposed to be covering like books and it's a vinyl cover. So I take the stickers and I just put the cover over them, cut them, stick them on a poker chip. I know I've got another Scarecrow one coming out, and I think I've got most of the Golden Age. I think there's 7 different ones. And then, of course, I got a Controlled, Captured, and a Vicious Struggle, if you still use it. So if people want that, I actually have all the chips, and I have a document if you want. You just have to go and print in color, and you can have it for free. I can also mail them out to people. Usually when I trade some cards is what I do. So just get in touch with me if you want, if you're interested in those. Similarly, I did Proxian cards, and one day I said I'd like to have some better color indicators. So on one sheet of paper, I printed 9 different color indicators, the main ones. Same thing, took a piece of cardboard or cardstock, and then I put the vinyl on top of it. And you can't tell that that's any different than the other indicator. Very simple, and it cost me nothing for the vinyl. It's because I had that left over from the poker chips. So again, I have those. I have 9, the main colors, rainbow colors. If you're interested in that, I can send that to you. Just let me know. And then I played in some other events and people said, wow, you had some cool custom sleeves. And I mean, normally you have just normal red sleeves you buy. So I like buying the clear ones. So take a clear sleeve. And I've just printed not a proxy card, but just a 2 by 2.5 by 3.5 of whatever I want. Like this one goes with my Spider-Man mat. So fits inside. And there's your 8 cards you can have. I have a Guardians one, and then I have a Deadpool one. So 3 different ones. Just when I go to an event, it just kind of makes it customized a little bit. Instead of paying the extra $5 for a custom sleeve, I just make my own. And then they just stick in the back. And yeah, pretty straightforward. So hopefully that's some ideas. I have some other stuff I've been trying to create. I'm going to try to do some documents for everyone, but any feedback, please let me know. If you're interested in any of them, I've got the supplies for it, or the ideas and printouts. Just send me a message, and yeah, try to make our swag look a little better. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.